Now that is the referee, Ted Humphrey, going out for the toss of the coin between Oakland and Michigan. A lot of pregame ceremonies here because of the fact it is their initial home game. And entertainer Tanya Tucker was ferried in an open car in order to sing the national anthem. John Ralston has been around for years and years. He was the first man hired by Dave Dixon, who thought up this USFL long before he became head coach and general manager of Oakland. But I think you know about Ralston. All those years at Utah State, 4 of them, 9 years at Stanford, 5 years with Denver. On the other side of the field, Jim Stanley played under Bear Bryant at Texas A&M, then an offensive or defensive coach, I should say, with Navy and with the Falcons, and a head coach at Oklahoma State. The captain's meeting at the center of the field. You can see Cobb there, along with Pennywell, and also along with number 31, and that's David Greenwood, their fine defensive back out of Wisconsin. And here's the toss of the coin, and Ted Humphrey will tell us who won. And obviously the Panthers have won the toss of the coin, looking for offense, especially with this opening night crowd here. And it is going to be Michigan receiving and Oakland to kick off. And in Oakland, Don Heinrich, they have a story, as this man is going to come out to kick off. And the story is Kevin Shea, who in the field goal department is 1 for 6, had a chance to win the game last week against Birmingham, but went 0 for 4. None of those field goals from outside 40 yards.
Well, the last one was a 27-yarder, Jim. At the close of the football game, he could have won it. People have said back there that after he missed 4 and the game was over, he jumped in his car, drove to the Golden Gate Bridge, and jumped from there and missed the water. So we'll see tonight.
And the point is, John Ralston did bring in some other kickers. And when I asked, well, and he said, I'm going to go with Kevin Shea 1 more week. So Kevin Shea is here, and we'll do the kicking off. And there he is, 6'2", 198 out of St. Mary's. And he has had trials with the 49ers, with the Rams, and with the Raiders. And he has made it with the Invaders of Oakland. Now the fans will get a little excited because going back deep is number 86, Ron Ingram. And Ingram is a giant of a man, as you well know. He is 5'9", if he's that, and is listed at 180, and he can fly. When we had him a couple of weeks ago in the opener down against Birmingham, he actually ran under the arms of some of the would-be tacklers. Ralston is on the field with his team. There he is, Ingram, talking to them before the kickoff. Now, that's something I've never seen. A head coach out on the field as they're about to line up for the kickoff, talking to his players, and now trots off the field.
Well, John Ralston has always been a very enthusiastic type of a person. He doesn't get after the players like some other coaches do around the league and really at every level. So he sort of gives it the personal touch, but you still got to play the game.
And all of these folks turning out to watch Michigan want to see them score. 1 touchdown in their first 2 games. Kevin Shea to kick off. Another, it'll be picked up by Ingram at the 7. 15, 20, breaks outside, gets across the 30-yard line, and they will have outstanding field position. 1st and 10 from there as Marcus Quinn, the nickelback, made the tackle. Now remember, Hebert, Ellis, and Lacey will be in your backfield. Carter and McLean, the wide receivers, and Cobb, your tight end, the #1 draft choice of Cincinnati about 6 years ago. 1st down, and spot the ball at the 33-yard line. A 27-yard kick return by Ron Ingram. Both Carter and Derek Holloway are wide to the right. Holloway, and there's a wide receiver. Hebert is going to throw on 1st down. That's a change. Throws and has Carter and overthrows him out of bounds. Also had his back Tony Ellis free at about the 40-yard line and did not see him. 2nd down 10.
Well, they didn't waste any time. They said that they would like to attack Ken Daniel on that left corner. They came right out with a little play action off the right side and then went deep to Carter, but Hebert was high and wide.
Hebert has been hitting on nearly 55% of his passes. That 1 touchdown only, but also 1 interception. And the high and wide throw might have had something to do that he thought that Carter didn't have his man beat. Now Carter's to the right and Holloway is to the left. Little jump, but no flag. Hebert back, throwing. And throws out of here and overthrows Mike Cobb, the tight end. Nowhere near the throw at all. And Cobb comes back. And hello, Bobby Hebert, out of Northeast Louisiana State. You're in your first game at home. You've thrown 2 balls, and you are being booed by the home crowd.
Well, he threw the ball awfully bad both times. That time he again wanted to go to Carter. They had Carter out on the right side. but the Oakland defense went into a double coverage zone-wise, short and deep. They had him shut off. Carter stepped up inside, no particular pressure on him, and he tried to come off to Cobb and just threw it poorly.
Third down and 10 to go. Obvious passing situation. Carter's on the far side. Here they come. Hebert drops it over the middle and near Carter, but not with Carter. Billy Yancey was covering him. And it's 3 throws and strike 3. Hebert is out for the moment. Anthony Carter was thrown toward twice and had no chance to catch. Going back now is Yancey, and coming in is David Greenwood, a #1 draft choice, rookie out of Wisconsin, averaging just about 36 yards. And the rush is on. Greenwood gets away a good kick. Yancey comes over inside the 30. It will get a Michigan bounce. He takes it at the 15-yard line. In a crowd, down he goes at the 16. Down at the 16-yard line, and Oakland will not get a good field position. So we got 14-21 to go. There's no score. Oakland's got the ball. 51-yard net punt, puts the ball down just inside the 16-yard line. Make that inside the 17-yard line. Bassano, number 14, is your quarterback. Arthur Whittington, 22. Tarosian, 32, your running backs. Banks, 88. Henderson, 82, your wide receivers. And Raymond Chester, your tight end. Hebert went 0 for 3. Think a little nerves there. Debut for a rookie at home. Here's Bassano back, looking for the sure thing. Can't get it. Look out. He may be sacked and is dropped the football. And I believe Oakland recovered the football. That is Gary Anderson, a guard who had tryouts for the Lions, Saints, and Skins, dropping on the ball back inside the 10-yard line.
Well, Bassano had good time back there. Actually, a situation where he had almost too much time. Give credit to the defensive secondary as Bassano steps up inside, avoiding a couple of people. He had nobody open, and time ran out.
Second down, 17 to go. Bassano on the handoff to Tarosian, and Tarosian goes off the right side, and the fullback picks up some yards back about a yard past the original line of scrimmage. Let's call it 3rd down and 9. Tackle was made there by David Greenwood, the strong safety, along with John Corker. Houston and Markham cleared the way on the right side. And now they're pulling out a linebacker here.
They will go in passing situations with the 5 or nickel defense. 5 defensive backs, bring in an extra back.
Ricky Young is the man who comes out. 3rd down, 9 to go. No score early on, first quarter. Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. Everybody's up on the line. If they pop something here, and he may have taken too much time instead of 3rd and 9. Now here's the top-rated man in the USFL passing. Here's a man that's had quite a bit of experience. A man who's 28 years old out of California. He has fumbled the ball once and been called for too much time a second time. Fred Bassano.
Well, one of the things that Michigan does is they change up that defense significantly. Whether it's a nickel backfield, they're getting a call.
Number 14. 3rd down.
So they ran out on the 30-second clock, but he was apparently confused by all the linebackers moving around in there, a couple defensive backs moving around. That's one thing that Michigan will do a lot of, as well as blitzing from all those combinations.
Ball on the 13-yard line, 3rd down and 18 to go. Here's Bassano. Look out from behind, sacked. That is John Corker coming in from the weak side linebacker spot. Number 57. Corker, a 3-year veteran out of Oklahoma State, who is the quickest linebacker they've got.
Well, at 6'6", he does it very well as Bassano drops back. Whittington did not handle Corker on that side. That's his responsibility, and a big sack as far as the Michigan club's concerned.
Stan Talley, the #1 punter in the USFL, is going to punt the ball away to Anthony Carter, who is standing Oakland territory. Gets the ball away. Chance for a return for Carter, who has drifted back to the 47-yard line. He's got speed, but nowhere to go, and down he goes. Tackled there by number 21, Jairo Penaranda, a fullback who spent some time with the Rams, but they are in Oakland territory. 12:35 to go, and there's still no score in Pontiac, Michigan. Gary Anderson has gone off the field after the injury on the last play. Here's what happened. The linebackers, and you'll see number 60, and watch what happens. There's Anderson twisted around. We told you that Steve Houston, another guard, was taken off the field. So Leo Biederman, a tackle, has moved into the left guard spot. Here's Basana on 3rd down and short. Running out of time, dumps it out to Whittington, who should make the first down. He's got the first down and knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line by John Arnaud. Whittington takes a seat, but not until he gets the first down at the 35. As Basana found the safety valve. 13-yard pickup.
Good job by Arnaud coming across there. There was some question he'd play. He had a hip pointer, and a great job by Basana as he's caught under pressure. And then as he looks over to the side, he sees Whittington standing there, and it's just a little toss and run for it.
3-0. Panthers lead the Invaders. Basana 7 of 8, 45 yards, but nowhere near a score yet. Whittington, the tailback, runs away from one man who missed his tackle. And that was Canavino, but is soon stacked up by others as he crosses the 35 to the 36. Phil Dokes will call his name and number again. At one time, the very highest of draft choices for Buffalo out of Oklahoma State. And when you consider that Jim Stanley was the head coach at Oklahoma State, you have an idea why Dokes is on this roster.
Well,
he's playing very well tonight.
They got just short yardage out of it, Jim. And as you said, Canavino missing the tackle. He read it absolutely perfect. He took the gap, but then he just misjudged the angle and hit behind him a little bit.
2nd down, 9 to go. Here's Basana. Now blitz is on, but he gets the ball away. He just threw that ball away because charging was Mike Edwards, a rookie out of Michigan State from the left side, number 53, a linebacker. And so Basana simply unloaded, and it's 3rd down, 9.
Well, once again, heavy blitz action by the Michigan Panther Ball Club, and it was enough to bother Basana. It was a type of a pattern where they did not have a blocker and a linebacker in that case. It's a hot receiver. It's up to the quarterback, and he has to be able to read it and get rid of the ball before the linebacker is going to get to him. That time he read it fine, but he threw it poorly.
3rd down and 9, and this time Ronnie Mallett in the game comes out wide to the right, and Wyatt Henderson goes wide to the left. And he may have jumped offside. He was really coming. John Corker thought he had the snap count down correctly, and I think he misjudged it by 1 or 2.
Well, you know, a lot of times the linebacker will try and time that, as will a defensive back if they're going with a safety blitz. So they figure that if there's the call as they get ready to mark it off, as Corker anticipated, maybe Basana's been going.
It's not that he jumped offside, but for the 3rd time, Basana took too much time. That's
delay.
The 3rd time.
Offense, number 14.
Oh, they did call it too much time. Well, anyway, in Corker's case, he figures that if Basana's going on a 2 count every play or a 3 count, he tries to time it.
Let me ask you a question, though. Might he have been reading the clock, figuring he had to go? Meaning the clock counting down to the 30-second mark? He might have gone on the clock.
If he had that kind of an awareness, he did a great job. But he's 6'6", as I said earlier, and coming right into your face is going to make you a little jumpy.
I'm talking about Corker timing his charge on the clock. 3rd down and long to go. Now 14 to go. They're backing off. Basana throws and has a man right in the seams. Raymond Chester, 1st down. Holding on for dear life is Albert Gray. But Raymond Chester makes his 2nd catch of the night. And the line of scrimmage was the 31. They get it to the 44. That's a pickup of 27 yards on 3rd and 14.
You see Chester coming down. He's got the up area in the zone. Chester, who's done it so many times, just runs a hook pattern in there. And Basana, with ample time that trip, threw it right down the middle, got a big first.
Oakland on their 2nd good drive of the night for the Invaders. They've come up with nothing. Oh, what a fine play there. Whittington never got outside as David Greenwood, who was kind of sealed off last time on the catch by Whittington, or by Raymond Chester, makes the good tackle of Whittington there. A loss of 1.5 yards, caught it 2nd and 11.
Well,
Jeff Jackson now comes in to the defensive lineup for Michigan.
Well, that previous play, like you mentioned, that in Greenwood's case, he had that short area, but there was nothing to contain him. He did not drop back to the inside. He made up for it by making a quick force.
Henderson left and Mallett to the right. And Basana back to throw on a fly pattern, and there's the ball caught. And there goes Henderson. Osborne. And that is a 45-yard touchdown pass. And the Invaders are out in front. Basana simply laid it up for Henderson to run under. His 4th touchdown.
Well, they had the pressure on, and he read it perfectly as he just let it go, went for the streak or fly type pattern and threw it out in front of him, ran under it. You can see he has the corner beat badly, Osborne in this case, by a couple of steps, and with a perfect throw, there's not much more you can do except just try and grab him.
Well, Kevin Shea's missed all those field goals. Is 5 for 5 on points after touchdown, and now is 6 for 6 on points after touchdown. And with 8 minutes to go in the half, Oakland has jumped on top 7-3.
You know, you mentioned earlier, Jim, about Wyatt Henderson with his time in Los Angeles, his time in San Diego, where at one place he was the receiver, another place he was a defensive back. Gives you an indication of his speed. The fact that he's averaging 19 yards a catch coming into this game, has scored 3 TDs. You see where he just turns it on, and when you get the perfect throw, he scores his 4th TD, a big play guy.
Well, neither quarterback has thrown well tonight. I should say none of the 3 quarterbacks has thrown well tonight, but Basana, who has got a good completion record, but many of them short, really laid that out for Wyatt Henderson to run under, and he beat his man, Ron Osborne, badly. Now Shea to kick off, and back deep is Ron Ingram again, who is an average return man of nearly 20 yards. 7-3, 8 minutes to go in the half, and Shea to kick off. And Ingram will have a shot here. Very high kick from the 3. 10, 15 in a crowd, out of the crowd, and almost knocked a man over. Ingram gets out across the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now looking down again, we see that it is still Whit Taylor coming out. We have heard no mention that Bobby Hebert has been hurt, and we don't think he's been hurt. We just think he passed 40. That's how Oakland scored the last 45 yards on that Basana to Henderson beautiful pass. Ball at the 25. Lots of time to go, but all year long, and you can't say all year long when this is just the 3rd game, Michigan has had its problems moving the football. Carter wide to the left, McLean is in, and wide to the right. And there is Ellis, Tony Ellis, carrying the football across the 30-yard line. A fine running play as it turned out. He can find the open field very well and picks up 5 yards, make it 6 yards.
Good job by Radloff in the middle on Monty Bennett. You see him as their, well, he was actually the number 2 player taken in the USFL. You talk about being strong up the middle. You see him moving to his right, trying to get position, wheel his feet, and cut off the nose guard.
Radloff has had back problems, but is playing the entire game tonight. 2nd down, faking, or are they faking the blitz? They're not. The blitz is on. Ellis with the football. Ellis has got the 1st down. Blitz was coming from the side. Duncan makes the tackle. O'Brien was coming from the side, but it was not a pass play, and it's a 1st down. Let me get back to the subject, Don. You were talking about, well, let's take a look at Radloff, and then I'll say something as you take a look.
Here's Radloff this time with an even man front as he comes straight out on the linebacker. He keeps his feet moving. He goes to the ground just a little bit. He wants to get position, trying to get that head on the right side, knowing that the play is going to the right to cut him off. Coach Stanley says that he is the best offensive center he has seen, potentially.
I'll add something to that because your eyes flew open when he said that, and Stanley was with Atlanta. Here is Whit Taylor, and down goes Whit Taylor. The blitz is on from everybody, led by David Jefferson, number 55. And it looks as though, well, the Oakland man is going to get up, but rather slowly getting up. Jefferson, the man who made the tackle. The point being that Jim Stanley, the coach of Michigan, coached defense for the Atlanta Falcons. And he turned to Don Heinrich, whose eyes flew wide open, and said, I think potentially he's better than Jeff Van Note, who's made a couple of Pro Bowls, who plays with the Atlanta Falcons. Not as experienced yet, but he said he is just going to be great.
Well, with his size at 6'5" and 265, can move like he can move. He was a decathlon guy in his early days in high school, so that tells you something about his abilities and his agilities. He also played with that Georgia team, as you know, Jim. That
blocked for what's his name?
Right. Oh, what's his name? Herschel.
Here's Jefferson. Here's how he gets hurt. Let's watch it. Oh, God, it looked like he got right in the back of the rib cage there. Second down, Holloway in motion. They've got 3 wide receivers in. Taylor looking for some blocking. Is he going to get it? Gets the ball away. Has his man. First down, and that is McLean. Still on his feet. McLean knocked out of bounds inside the 30-yard line at the 27 by Marcus Quinn. First down, Michigan, their biggest offensive play of the night.
Well, it certainly was a big play. The previous one, they went with a fake roll draw pass that Taylor could not get off. He wanted to go deep to Anthony Carter down the right side and was dropped back there. This time, it's straight drop back as he steps into the pocket, bumps into one of his own men, is looking for position, spots McLean, who has come across, ran it down and in, picks up a block, and turns up the sideline. A missed tackle and an extremely big gain.
43-yard gain. First down, 27-yard line. Michigan down 7-3. Whit Taylor back. Has some time now. Slips as he throws. Carter's there, and the ball is knocked away. No penalty. Defending on the play was Derek Martin.
Well, the crowd doesn't like it. They felt that there was a little pushing and shoving going on down there. They were unhappy. Mike Cobb over saying something to the official. Carter running just an individual pattern on Derek Martin, ran down, took a move towards the post, and went to the sideline.
Don, you're an All-American quarterback. You're a pro quarterback, and I'm looking, but did you see, or did I just thought I see, the foot of Whit Taylor slip as he threw the ball, and I think that's why I got too much on it.
Yeah, his back foot sort of went out from under him, so he didn't get everything on it, but it was pretty good coverage by Martin at that point.
McLean goes to the right, and Carter to the left again. Holloway's in there, 3 wide receivers again. Holloway steps up in the tight end position, and Holloway's in there to block. And now way overthrown as Taylor had to unload, intended for McLean again.
Well, Taylor had the right idea. He knew the blitz was coming. They had pretty much everybody on the line of scrimmage, and the 2 corners were isolated one-on-one with McLean and Carter. I would have to think he went to an automatic type of a play because they both ran a quick post type of a move. The toughest one there is to cover, no secondary support between the 2 safeties. And as it turned out, Taylor just threw it high, but he'd had a nice gain out of it.
5:45 to go in the half, 7-3 Oakland. Michigan, 3rd down 10. McLean coming over to the same side as Carter. Taylor dropping back, being pursued by Quinn. Gets the ball away, and no good out of bounds. And it's 4th down. Holloway was the man Taylor was trying to get it to, but Quinn had him in his sights all the way.
Carter coming down to the inside. He's running a post. And,
whoops. Whoops.
As you see, a little reach move out there by Derek Martin. He did not happen to get caught, but I can't say that I would blame him.
The ball was to the other side. It was not intended for him.
Even so, he put a hook out there and kind of knocked him off balance.
All you passes are alike. Here's Boyovich coming in, and this time another 44. Remember, he had 3 49-yarders against Birmingham. This would be his second 44-yarder if he makes it. Boyovich from 44 yards out does make it. He gets in a rut, either 49 or 44. Boyovich connects again, 5:32 to go, and we have a 1-point ball game. Michigan trails Oakland by the score of 7-6. Novo Boyovich, the MVP of the opening game against Birmingham, those 3 49-yarders, and he's had a couple of 44-yarders tonight. Will kick off to Poncho James and Jerry Aldridge. James is number 20, Aldridge number 43. The second half about to get underway nearly 2 hours after the first half began. It has been a long game. There were many injuries and, of course, many pass plays, which made the first half go rather long. Boyovich is ready, and our referee Ted Humphrey is ready, and here's the kickoff. And that is Poncho James at the 9-yard line. Across the 15, running laterally, gets outside for the moment, and then knocked down by the good cornerback Clarence Chapman. And that's the 3rd time I recall on a kickoff, Chapman making the tackle. So it'll be Basana 14, Whittington 22, Tarosian 32. They have been in your backfield offensively throughout the first half. Gordon Banks, 1 wide receiver, 88. Wide Henderson, 82 the other. Raymond Chester with 3 catches, 87 at tight end. They've had to fiddle-faddle around with their offensive line because of injuries, but now everybody is back. although Graffis is starting over Houston at right guard as we begin the second half. Senator Art Whittington. Whittington, oh, good tackle by number 57, John Corker, as he got across the line of scrimmage.
Corker, a very aggressive player, played it from the standpoint that as Whittington is coming wide, he's got a contained position. He comes across, defeats the block. It isn't real clear as he steps back inside, but he had perfect containment and then moved to make the tackle.
Second down, 7 to go. Ball at the 32-yard line. Now they split the backs. And Whittington again, and he just barely gets the line of scrimmage. This time Ray Bentley is there to help out Ronnie Padgett, who made the stop. And it's third down and about 7.
Well, Bentley, the top tackler on the team, as he'll move to the left, he takes good angles to step in and fill the hole, meets him head on right in the hole. A perfect tackle, perfect position. His father's here this evening watching the game. He's has not been well. He's in a wheelchair down on the sideline. So Bentley signed with Michigan because he felt he wanted to be close to home.
Crowd coming alive on third down and 7 to go. They'd like him to stop this drive. Basana back. Basana has time, and Raymond Chester. And they're saying that Chester caught the ball. He was fumbling a little bit, but that's his 4th catch of the night by my count, and that's enough for a first down. There's experience knowing where first down territory is.
Excuse me, Jim. Chester releases off the line, goes down about 6-7 yards, turns it over the middle. He does exactly what a receiver should do. He goes to the ground, moving into the football, and picks it off just about knee-high.
Ball at the 41-yard line. There is the score. We're early in the second half, and Oakland is putting together a drive that began back on their 29-yard line. Basana, Whittington, not had good luck tonight, gets better luck here, gets outside here, and has a first down into Michigan territory at the 46-yard line before John Arnaud came up to make the stop. Lavasa did a good job of leading the play there. Number 56 in your picture, just coming into the corner of your picture there for a moment. The center who was out with a knee a week ago and did not play. First and 10.
Ricky Young, the linebacker to that side, stepped across, forced him to the inside, but he didn't get any contain.
Anderson wide left. Banks to the right. Penaranda is in, but that is Whittington carrying the ball and tripping over his own man, Gary Anderson. Of course, Michigan had a lot to do with that, but he was over Anderson that Whittington was tripped up and thrown for a 2-yard loss. Second down and 12, back to the 48-yard line.
The guy that played it perfectly was David Greenwood from his strong safety position. He took whatever keys they have for him, whether it be the flow of the backs moving his way or a guard pulling, but he got penetration and he knocked off all the blocking, and that's the best way to stop a sweep, is strip that blocking in a hurry. In that instance, the ball carrier fell over the pile.
Raymond Chester, we have the accurate statistics now. 5 catches for 64 yards. Second down and long for Basana. He's got the time. Whittington across the middle. Whittington running backwards and dragged down by David Greenwood, number 31. Whittington lost some yards that he had, and as it is, gets back only about a yard beyond the line of scrimmage, so now it's third down and 11. All of that running, and he only picked up a yard.
Well, coaches like to see players go upfield north and south. They don't like to see them running that east and west direction as Whittington was doing there. Once again, Greenwood, who for a defensive back is absolutely perfect size at 6'3" and 208. And he's got the quickness that Whittington has and played it well.
I'm one coach. Coach said, Don, Greenwood could play strong safety in this league for 10 to 15 years. He is that good. He's a rookie. Third down, 11. And now they lay it up on this side for Banks, and Banks makes the catch out of bounds. So it's fourth down. Banks was bobbling the ball as he went out of bounds, did not have possession, and it's fourth down.
Well, that's a gamble type of a play as the blitz was coming. Basana knew it. The defensive backs knew it. Raymond Chester got held up a little bit at the line, but you figure, well, you'll just hang it up there. You know you got one-on-one. In that instance, Basana laid it to the outside, and it was incomplete.
There is Anthony Carter stepping back to his 10-yard line, and Stan Talley will kick the ball. He had a boot of 56 yards back in the first half. On his own 38, low snap, angles away from Carter. Carter watches it go over there, takes it at the 9, and Carter makes a good move there by one guy. Another good move, fumbles the ball, and Oakland gets it at the 27-yard line. I believe that may be Marcus Quinn, number 40 over there, and that is who it is, standing up saying, "I've got it." And Carter made a good move, but Carter is the man who has fumbled for the second time. This time, he does not make the recovery.
Well, Carter fields it back on the 9-yard line. Probably could have let it go into the end zone. I'm sure he's a little frustrated as he takes it and steps upfield, sets up a couple blocks, side slips a man as he's hit from behind. So often happens, an arm comes in and will knock him loose, and there's a couple of players down on the field. One for Oakland on the far side, can't quite get his number.
Iro Penaranda is the man who made the stop of Carter, and O'Brien is the man who was down. And time has been called. Well, Anthony Carter not only has not caught a ball tonight, but has fumbled 2 punts tonight. Once without being hit, and once by being hit on a fine from behind tackle by Penaranda. Mike O'Brien being talked to. He is the free safety. And the Invaders may have to do some juggling in their defensive backfield. Remember, these clubs only carry 40 players, and then they've got 10 on a developmental squad. They don't carry 45. Great field position, best of the night for either team as they take over the ball on the 28-yard line. And here's Whittington, and he gets to the 26, and that is all. And down with him is Mel Land, number 52, the linebacker on the left side. Helping out, as you can see, was Robert Pennywell, but it is Land, 52, who made the stop. And no gain on the play, second down 10.
Land playing off the block of Raymond Chester at that point. They were pulling the guard to that side to try and get out in front of it, but Land just shedded Chester, who is normally a pretty good blocker, and stepped in to make the tackle.
Anderson wide to the left, Banks to the right. And Bassana going to try it again. Across the field this time, and Raymond Chester has caught his 6th ball. Shy of the first down at the 23. And maybe the biggest disappointment of the night, Don Heinrich, will be when the management learns, well, let's watch Raymond Chester first.
Well, Raymond Chester,
suspense.
Again, doesn't get any hold up. He takes an inside release this time. They got to hold him up a little bit, and then does just a little drag out to the sidelines. They have the flanker to that side clearing it out. They're in a man-for-man coverage.
Now, here's what I wanted to say, though. The attendance tonight, they wanted 40,000. They got 22,320 for the opening game of Michigan, and that's the saddest news the Panthers have received tonight, I am sure. Across the middle, see you later, Banks. Make that Henderson. Make it 82, and he's got his second. 22-yard touchdown pass, and no one checked Henderson. He simply came from right to left, post pattern across the middle, and he was gone.
Well, Osborne coming back on just a quick post move, probably the toughest one in football to cover. Henderson going about 7 yards, taking it a 45-degree angle. Takes it to the inside, got a lot of running room. Osborne very slow to close it on him, gets no help from the free safety, John Arnold, at that stage, and that's probably the weaker area of their defensive secondary.
Kevin Shea in to add the extra point. High snap, but Shea's kick is good. And it is 17-6. And the way the Michigan offense has been going, no passing attack, it'll be tough to come back. And now the Panthers and their fans are looking for some offense. They've got the ball at the 29-yard line after the 44-yard kick and the short return by Anthony Carter. Carter goes out to the right, and McLean comes out to the left. Taylor got a man out of the backfield, but is knocked down. Intended for Holloway and knocked down by Frank Manu. And since he did such a good play, Manu Maliuna, I'll give him his whole name.
He'll appreciate that. He was blitzing from that inside spot, just hit a gap. No one picked him up as he's coming around from that left side or on the right side of Whit Taylor. I would suspect that Whit Taylor would have to start rolling out something to get away from that crowd where his field of vision is going to be a little better.
Since coming on, Taylor's 4 for 10 for 65 yards. Under constant pressure, he is a rookie playing in his first game. Never threw the ball in action before tonight. Now has time and is going to almost overthrow Holloway. Holloway's trying to make something out of it. Cannot. On top of him is Kenny Daniels. Back to the line of scrimmage. Well, Don Heinrich can tell us how hard it is to throw one of those little swing passes out there, trying to lead a man coming up the sidelines.
Well, that is one of the more difficult angles to throw the ball because you really don't get much area to put it in there. Taylor, as you can see, is 5 for 11. He has not gone upfield a great deal. He's been a little anxious to dump that football off. That time, Holloway had to make an excellent catch just to get a yard or two out of it.
3rd down and 10. Don't you think Bobby Hebert would say, gee, let me back in. I think I can do something. Taylor going to get caught again. Joey McLean is there and have taken the ball away from him, and that is Quinn with his 2nd fumble recovery. And now the fans really go to work on the Panthers.
Well, Taylor went with the follow-through on his arm, trying to recock it and make a move as the pressure was getting to him. But in the process, he didn't hang on to the football. So it goes as another turnover, an excellent field position for the Oakland club as they got it previously on the Carter fumble of the punt return, and now the fumble here by Whit Taylor
at the 23-yard line. Shanahan's to Whittington. Whittington is having a tough time tonight getting back to the line of scrimmage, which would seem to indicate to me, Don, that the offensive line is doing a better job of blocking for Pisana than it is to block for the run, although Tarosian has had good luck from the fullback spot going straight ahead.
Well, Pisana's helped himself as he's come off to the shorter men, either the backs or in many cases to Raymond Chester, not choosing to go deep. In that particular instance, Robert Pennywell did a fine job of cutting him off on the sweep to the left. They'd pulled a guard. Pennywell had contained, and then the pursuit got there. He was actually lucky to get back what he did. He could have lost 2 or 3 yards in the play.
Well, Los Angeles is one of the teams that is undefeated in the USFL, but at the moment, in the first quarter, they are losing to Arizona. Darrell Clark has scored on a 1-yard run. Arizona 7, Los Angeles nothing. They have beaten the Generals and the Federals, and now have gone down to Tempe, Arizona, and have fallen behind. That's the other game in the USFL tonight. 2nd down at about 9. Pisana right across the middle, and there's number 43, Jerry Aldridge, out of the backfield. First time he's been on an offensive play tonight, and he has made the catch at inside the 10-yard line, close to the 1st down. It'll be 3rd down and about 1.5 yards.
Well, Oakland obviously feeling that the linebackers are dropping deep when they are not coming, because they do blitz a great deal of the time, so they are taking advantage, hitting those backs, circling out of the backfield, and just picking up those 6, 7, 8 yards at a clip.
3rd and short, remember. Whittington has the 1st down and plenty more. Touchdown! Arthur Whittington. 2 fumbles have set up 2 quick scores by Oakland. And with Michigan unable to generate any kind of offense at all, things look bleak for the Panthers.
Well, again, nothing fancy, just a power play up the middle. Whittington making a good move as he breaks back underneath the block, and then he proceeds to break a couple of tackles. The last one as he runs over Clarence Chapman on into the end zone. So Oakland starts to open up this lead as they're now leading 23-6.
And Kevin Shea has come on to try to make it 24-6. You know, as he does not, he has missed the extra point, the first one all year. This game was figured as a 1-point game. But as we take a look with 3:38 to go in the 3rd quarter, it is 23-6, Oakland. Kevin Shea to kick off again. Again, Ron Ingram is the deep man. And the problem becomes, how is Michigan going to get some offense? You were a quarterback. You were a quarterback coach. Hebert won the job in training camp. Hebert started the first 3 games, that includes this one, and all of a sudden he's just not given another chance.
Well, he couldn't hit the water when he started this ball game if he fell out of a boat, but it appears that he's down on the sideline near Coach Jim Stanley. Stanley wanting to get something going too, and he's got his headgear on. I think he's going to go back in.
Here's Ingram trying to get something for the Panthers. They've had very little offense tonight. 2 field goals only. Oh, Ingram runs right into Frank Duncan, and down he goes. as he crosses the 15-yard line. And there is Bobby Hebert, who started. Whit Taylor came in. Taylor's completed only 5 passes all night, and so they're coming back to Hebert, who was 1 for 6 before they yanked him.
Well, you know, that's a little early to get him out of there, quite frankly. Even though he was throwing the ball very poorly, I would have expected that they'd let him go a little longer, then make the change, and then coming out in the second half, start him. But now it looks like they're going to go with him again.
Hebert has his back split. Looking, dumps it out here, completes a pass to Lacy out of the backfield. Lacy gets across the 20-yard line, and that's a pickup of about 5 yards.
It could have been more as Monty Bennett from his nose tackle position read the screen, paralleled it with great hustle down the line of scrimmage. It was a nice screen getting set up. He had some running room, should have picked up about 15 off of it. But as we had said earlier, too, that they're going to have to go to some screens to slow that pass rush up a little bit. That time they only got 5, could have been bigger.
John Williams, a very quick back. Is in the backfield now, number 40, coming out of the backfield. They're going the other way to Lacy the other way. Lacy gets a block. Lacy may have the first down across the 25 out near the 28-yard line. Tackled by Plummer.
And I'll tell you once again, Monty Bennett was out there on that side. He made a dive for him, got a little bit of the back of his heels on it, almost made the tackle, but that's 2 in a row. That is excellent hustle for a man playing in the inside.
Well, there's a change on attendance here for the good, but still, the figure we gave you is true paid, 22,320. There are 28,952 in here, but 22,320 paid their way in. Another small crowd of the USFL, about comparable to the game we saw last Monday night in Los Angeles when they had about the same figure. First down for Michigan. Hebert's completed 2 straight passes now, both times to a back. Now he's got a man on the far side, and that is his tight end, Mike Cobb, who had a great game against Birmingham in the opener, but that's the first pass he's caught tonight. And Kenny Daniel ran him out of bounds. That's a gain of about 5, and at the 32, they'll say second down and 5. But Hebert comes out with some confidence, and as we said, don't you think he's standing on the sidelines watching Whit Taylor saying, hey, I can get back and do better than that.
Well, I'm sure he feels that way. He is going to have to go upfield, but it's not bad to throw a couple screens and something short to Cobb to get his confidence back.
He's 3 for 3 since coming back in. And he's going to throw again. Look out. Blitzing linebacker floats the throw to Lacy out of the backfield. Lacy, good run across the 50. First down. Hebert was hit but got it off. 21-yard pickup. O'Brien makes the stop. And Bobby Hebert may have regained his starting position.
Well, he's getting a little smarter about it at this stage. With the pressure on him, he knew where Lacy was coming out of the backfield. The blitz was coming, so there wasn't anybody covering Lacy at that point. They were giving him a lot of room. They're giving him a lot of room on the corners. I would expect him to go to work there. So a short pass, and he picks up a big gain.
Frank McLean wide to the right, Anthony Carter to the left. Holloway's in as a third wide receiver. Hebert is going to try to keep this streak going. Look out, he's got a man out of the backfield again. Lacy, he's across the 30-yard line, the 20-yard line, and he will score! I said Lacy, it is Holloway, but holding a flag is down in any event. Come back, Derek Holloway.
I think we might see an unnecessary roughness on the passer at this stage. It's a little premature.
Except they're waiting for him to come back.
We're going to see it again. He does exactly the same thing he did the previous play, just circles out of the backfield.
It's a touchdown.
And he's got the linebacker beat to that side, and now it's a foot race. Makes a great move down around the 10-yard line, dukes him and takes it in. That's what this crowd has been waiting for. So Hebert has ignited.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number
right,
52
Don.
defense. Touchdown. Penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Dewey McLean called, and Holloway, we said he was in there as a third wide receiver, 29, not 28, Lacy, 29. Holloway makes the touchdown, 48-yard gallop. And all of a sudden, Hebert has not missed since coming back in.
Well, that's why I say that if you come out and throw short, give him a chance to get a little bit of a feel, get his confidence back, not try to go upfield. He did that, then get 6.
Bojovic comes on to add the extra point. It's not over yet, but it's 23-13. They're within 10 and better. Now they're saying it was not good.
Well, coming out of the backfield, as you see almost the late hit on Hebert, but the little circle move, he throws it perfectly, a little soft pattern, and then takes it on in. Big play.
Yeah, but now they say it was good as a first signal. 23-13, Michigan trails Oakland, and Oakland will get the ball when we come back, of course. 23-13 as Bobby Hebert came back in, and after being 1 for 6 when he was yanked, hit 5 straight, took the team 83 yards, the last 48 on the throw to Derek Holloway.
Well, that's something I'd have to question a little bit. The decision to have taken Hebert out of there at 1 for 6, being a young guy like he is out of Northwest Louisiana State, he's got to get his confidence built up, but he certainly did in that drive, and he's got him back in it, trailing only by 10.
Only the second touchdown all year long for Michigan. Boyovich kicking off from midfield. Remember, there was, watch out, ball is there, and down goes the return man inside the 25. There was a roughness of the passer penalty assessed as Aldridge gets up. He was the short man who took the ball. And so they were kicking off from the 50-yard line and get the ball out across the 20. Now, there's a situation, Don, where you thought, well, we got him, but he kicked it so short that they got a pretty good return and rather good field position. Not into the end zone and out to the 20, but out to the 24-yard line.
Well, I believe what Boyovich was trying to do was drop it in that little area in there and then hope it would flop around, the ball that is, and they'd get a chance for a deep onside kick shot.
Now the Michigan fans feel that something might happen. Whoops, that is not Whittington, that's Poncho James, and he has a tough time getting back to the line of scrimmage, but he picks up about a yard before Ray Bentley submarines him. Poncho James out of San Francisco State, he is a rookie who had 1 yard total offense with the ball before tonight. He had lost 2 yards with a catch, and he'd gained 1 yard running the ball.
Well, you know Ray Bentley's going to be around that football. He can really feel where it's going. He reads things so quickly and reacts so well. Excellent linebacker.
15 seconds left, third quarter. Second down, 9. Basana looks for Whittington, has him run out of bounds across there by Ron Osborne. That'll stop the clock. Well, Los Angeles may be in for a little tough time. Asmus of Arizona has just kicked a 57-yard field goal. That is a new USFL record. What's the season, 3 weeks old now. But they are out in front, Arizona 10 to the Express of Los Angeles, nothing.
Well, Arizona lost that first game to this Oakland club. They were shut out, didn't score a point. Since that time, they made a miraculous recovery last week and beat the Chicago Blitz, and now they're out on top of San Diego, one of 3 undefeated teams at this point.
Oakland beat Arizona 24-0 since then. Arizona 30 points against Chicago and 10 so far against Los Angeles. But here's a third down play. Basana back. Oh, has he got time? Who am I going to throw it to? I got somebody, and there's a first down as he gets it across to Gordon Banks. And that ends the third quarter. Tackle made by Pennywell.
Well, Robert Pennywell, who is dropping in his area, he's dropping to a zone, but then you got to come off, and you got to make a move to get back into the action. In this case, he didn't get there quite quick enough, and Gordon Banks came underneath.
Oakland by 10, but Michigan has now shown it can move the ball. Saturday Night Football on ESPN, the USFL. I'm Jim Simpson with Don Heinrich. We begin the fourth quarter, 23-13. Basana coming out. He's had an outstanding night, 17 of 22, 198 yards and 2 touchdowns. Here's Whittington trying to get some running room, and another fine open field tackle by the linebacker, Ray Bentley. A gain of only a couple, and got knocked out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
Good block by Ted Tarosian over there as he gave him a chance to get around the corner a little bit, pulling the guards. Tarosian picking off the linebacker and giving Whittington a chance to run.
Whittington has carried the ball, Don, 17 times for less than 3 yards per carry. He's had some tough goes with those linebackers filling at the line of scrimmage. Ball at the 42. Second down. Let's call it a gain of 1 for Whittington, and it's second down and 9. Santa looking to float the ball again, and this time it's Henderson again, but he's out of bounds. Out of bounds at the 32-yard line.
Once again, a nice...
Boy, he just really floats. Henderson and he have right on schedule, don't they?
Yes, they do. A nice throw by Bassani, reading that defense, the blitz again. As you look at it to the outside, he lays it over the outside shoulder. He has Clarence Chapman beat by a step, and that's excellent concentration.
That right foot, the toe was almost on the out-of-bounds marker, but it was not. So from a 32-yard line. Bassano still got the ball, puts the ball up for Chester. Touchdown! 32-yard touchdown pass. Arnaud was the man back with him. Bassano having an outstanding night, and remember, he came in as the leading passer in the USFL. In the first 2 possessions, he had a tough night. Penalty marker on the play. They're standing back at the 40-yard line, but everybody is saying, as we watch this, that it's going to be touchdown. Let's see.
Well, it was a fine move by Raymond Chester, one that he runs.
You know, I haven't seen that.
They make the call. They say David Greenwood was...
I haven't seen that, is what I've seen. They're calling personal foul, roughing the passer again. Now, remember that when Hebert got his touchdown pass, there was some consternation, and there was a personal foul roughing the passer on that.
Well, that time with the safety blitz coming, he got over anxious, but a great corner move by Chester.
Kevin Shea makes it good. And it is 30-13, and that quiets the crowd early in the fourth quarter. Oakland has come back thanks to Fred Bassano. Raymond Chester's 6th catch was his biggest catch of the night. 32 yards and a touchdown, and Oakland has now scored more points than it has scored all year long, better than the 24-0 blitz of Arizona. And Michigan's team is still huddling around its coaches, and Bobby Hebert's got 14 minutes and 44 seconds to get something going. Bassano, 19-24, 254 yards, 3 touchdown passes. If you had to pick a Budweiser MVP right now, whom would you say? That's pretty obvious, isn't it?
It certainly is.
He's done quite a job.
He really has. You know, Raymond Chester, he ran underneath that one, but Bassano's kept him off balance. He's hit a lot of short stuff, either to the backs or Chester crossing or breaking to the outside short, but he's mixed it up with enough deep patterns that he's really had that secondary, which has been a pretty good one, despite being a young one, off balance.
Again from the 50-yard line because of, well, he may have a field goal there. Went through the uprights. 50-yard line because the roughing the passer penalty on the touchdown play. So it'll come out to the 20-yard line. There is what happened in the elapsed time. They went 76 yards in a minute and 4 seconds.
Well, there was a gift that time for a young fellow sitting in the stands, because not only did it go through the goalpost, but it cleared the barrier, and he was sitting in the second row, and he quickly caught it and is moving up the aisle.
Hebert, remember, went 5 for 5. Lacey's back in the backfield along with John Williams. Went 5 for 5 since coming back toward the end of the third quarter. And he's going to try to make it 6 for 6. Looking for Anthony Carter, putting it under there. Carter's there. Can he get it? Yes! First down, 22-yard line. Carter makes his 4th catch of the year, the first of the night, and AC is on target with a 58-yard diving catch of the pass by Hebert.
And what a well-thrown ball as Hebert dropping back. He shows that he's got the strong arm. The delivery is overhand, a little bit unusual, but he laid it out in front. More often you'll see it short, and Carter, having a step on him, reaches out in front and makes the grab.
And you hear the chant, AC, AC, AC for Anthony Carter.
Brought the crowd alive.
Holloway has already scored a touchdown. He's to the right, Carter to the left. Hebert really on a roll. Looking, has time, delivers a ball, but out of bounds, and coming back in was Ken Lacey. He was out of bounds and was running back in, and he had not been knocked out of bounds. So he was ineligible, and that breaks the Hebert streak.
Well, you have to wonder, you know, Hebert was the 3rd pick of this Michigan club, and he had talked to his college coach, and his college coach was very instrumental, A.J. Williams. He also had been the high school coach of Terry Bradshaw and Joe Ferguson. And he said, if you go to the NFL, you're probably not going to get to play very much. Be 3 or 4 years before you do. You want to play right now, and he is performing very well since he came back after the half.
Was 1 for 6, now 7 for 13. Second down from the 22. Delivers, and coming back for the ball is Derek Holloway, his second touchdown. Hebert is more thrilled than Holloway.
Well, that's got to make him awfully happy. Holloway ran down, did a little hook number to the inside. Hebert delivered it with that unusual overhand style, but a lot of zip on the football. And Holloway knew what to do with it as he turned back to the inside and scampered into the end zone.
This has got to give a lift to the Michigan defense, which Oakland has been able to handle here lately. Holloway's second touchdown catch. Should Boyovich kick this, they're within 10 points and almost a full quarter to go. He does. It's 30-20 with 13 minutes and 32 seconds to go in the ball game.
Well, Hebert, as he drops back with that overhand move, you can't see Holloway just at the tail end coming to the inside. They overplay it. Hebert puts it in the perfect spot on the numbers so he can take it and hustle in for 6.
22-yard touchdown pass, but remember, it was all set up by the 58-yard catch by Anthony Carter. Diving, it was a great one.
Well, we haven't seen Hebert roll out a whole lot. The pass protection has been significantly better for him here in the late going of this football game, and I don't know. I think I might have been tempted to go for it. You never know when you're going to get down there again.
Fusina, 1st and 10 from a 32-yard line. Fusina, rather. There's Whittington. Hey, Whittington is outside. Whittington's got the first down. Arnott knocks him out of bounds. But Oakland continues to gain a lot of yardage. Just eat it up against the Michigan defense, which was so good in the first half. 21-yard carry. But, of course, Michigan's defense has been on the field for an awful long time.
Yes, they have. And Oakland is capable of moving that football. The Michigan defense has had problems in the past coming into this game, giving up yardage via the run. They've given up 164 yards a game average, so it's starting to show here a little bit. They got to get them out of there if they want to get in the ball game.
From the 47-yard line, Oakland leading by 10, nearly 7.5 minutes to go. That is Henderson in motion to the right. Tailback Whittington, he's doing yeoman work, and what a fine play there. Tipton came down the line. Canavino was there, and Whittington is shut down.
Nice job by Tipton as he uses a head slap type of move, moving to the right, works his way through, takes a good angle, but a guy that comes into the picture late, David Greenwood, the strong safety, forcing the play, turns it back to the inside, giving Tipton an opportunity to take that angle and make it. Drops him for a yard loss.
Whittington's longest run of the night was 22 yards, and that was for a touchdown. Less than 7 minutes. Masana looking, firing, and he's got Whittington out of the backfield. Arnott's the only man there, goes by him, and finally gets an ankle. And down he goes with a first down inside the 15-yard line. And Oakland can move this football.
A big play at that time. As you look at quarterback drops back, Bentley misses the tackle. He's running with Whittington, but he's just a step or two too slow. Whittington, pretty good speed, and then you get a missed tackle and a little bit of a pile up down there. A lot of people getting knocked around.
I'm running out on Michigan, and Oakland leading by 10, driving for more. Basana's 22 of 27, 333 yards. And Tarosian goes nowhere. Stacked up. Tipton's there. Paget is there.
Well, that play had worked fairly effectively for him earlier in the ball game, where he'd start to slant it off the tackle, either the right tackle or the left tackle. He reads that block and then breaks back over the middle or back over the offside guard. That time they held their lanes, filled it well. The problem is they're making a drive here to the point where a field goal now would increase that lead by 13. So they've got to get some type of a turnover.
Looking, Tarosian, the fullback, and knocked down as he hits to about the 7-yard line. Bentley and Canavino sandwich him there, but the biggest thing in this ballpark is the clock, which is running down now toward the 5-minute mark with that 10-point lead. And a little words there between Corker.
Corker's a little intense. David Greenwood was a little intense. Basana, pretty good poise that time. He also had pretty good protection to be able to wait for the receiver to come open.
Basana taking his time. Clock is all in his favor. 3rd down, remember. Have to get the ball down to the 1-yard line for the first down. Basana looks and throws, and Chester trips over a man, but it was not an intentional trip. Raymond is looking around, but he simply ran across the ankle of one man.
Well, he was begging a little bit there. John Corker was with him at that point. David Greenwood was with him. They had him locked up. They did a good job covering him. Now Shea will come on, and he isn't exactly automatic, despite the fact that the ball is sitting on the 7-yard line. You know, there's got to be some thought still going through his mind at this stage.
It'll be a 24-yard field goal attempt for Kevin Shea. 1 for 2 tonight.
If he misses this, he'll have a lot of calls. Probably will anyway next week to have another tryout camp.
Whoops, the ball bounced, and he puts it up and through. And Shea hits on the 24-yarder, and now they're up by 13 points. Oakland 33, Michigan 20. 4 minutes, 25 seconds left. That's the score. Bobby Hebert and company have a big job ahead of them. Winner here tonight will be 2-1-0. Loser here tonight will be 1-2-0. And we'll point out that Oakland is in that Pacific Division. Los Angeles is only trailing Arizona tonight by 3 points, going to the half down there, and could easily win that ball game. Of course, Oakland has to win to stay close, whereas Michigan has the same kind of situation with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay plays at New Jersey tomorrow. Tampa Bay's undefeated. Michigan, if they go 1-2, would drop 2 games down before Tampa Bay kicks off tomorrow. One of the up men takes the ball for the Michigan Panthers and doesn't get out too far. That is Mike Hagan, the fullback. Gets across the 35 to about the 37, and here comes Bobby Hebert. 6 plays, 67 yards. They 3 minutes and 16 seconds off the clock before Shea hit on that 27-yard field goal.
Well, Hagan ran it back like a fullback. He just lowered his head. He didn't try to get fancy. He got what he could get. They're at the 35-yard line, not the worst field position. It's better than you would normally get. So Hebert's got at least a little operating room.
And 2 scores, as we all know, can win this ball game, which is not impossible, but if he should score once, they still have to hold Oakland, and that has been difficult with Basana at the controls to do tonight. Hebert puts it up all by himself, and he cannot get it. Is number 82, Frank McLean. Slightly overthrown, flag thrown down in the backfield. Could be holding. Hebert, hands on his hips, now clapping.
Might be against Oakland. They're talking to the Oakland people, even though the officials are over conferring a little bit.
Yep, that's what it is.
You see him coming downfield and reaching for the football. That's a ball that really is catchable. It would have been a tough catch to make at that stage, but still, off the fingertips like that, McLean, you would expect him to come up with it. They do get a 15-yarder out of it.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 86, defense.
Oh, my heavens, that's Cedric Hardman. That's your friend.
Cedric.
That's your friend.
You know better than that.
Roughing the passer, that's the second time they've done that. Well, it's a 15-yard pickup. Here comes McLean in motion. Hebert gets the ball away on one hop to Cobb, with diving for it also Frank Duncan, the strong safety. A blitz was coming from the outside and was not that effectively picked up by Chris Godfrey. Hebert got rid of the ball just in time.
Yes, he did. You know, that last one that they had the penalty call on, surprisingly, the defense for Oakland was in a man-for-man situation. Carter was open as well on the other side. And this time they did go to his own, but they're going to that motion to try and get those individual situations.
Carter's had the one big catch tonight of 58 yards. Set up a touchdown. Right over the middle and right off the hands of Mike Cobb. Cobb turned and the ball was there. Frank Manu was right there with him.
Hebert, a little bit too much velocity on that football. It was just a little look-in type of a move. Cobb has to anticipate that it's going to be coming. He took an inside release, was coming over the middle. He runs a little slant type of a move, but then kind of straightens up the field to hold himself away from the linebacker. And Hebert, in his anxiety, threw it just a little high and behind him. That could have been a nice gain for him.
Derek Holloway's caught 2 touchdown passes tonight. Comes in to join Anthony Carter. Holloway's on the far side. Carter at the bottom of your screen. 3rd down. Jump. Flag goes down. I think they did jump, meaning Oakland. Carter can't get to that ball, but I think they're going to have it 3rd and 5 instead of 3rd and 10. Looked like the middle of the defense of Oakland jumped offside.
Oakland coming with the 4-man rush throughout this series. They want to get a little more pressure on if they possibly can. Hebert, a little bit anxious in there. He shouldn't be, even though he has gotten pressure at times. He's a big kid at 6'4". He just kind of got anxious and made a bad throw, but at least he took the free shot.
Offside. Defense, number 74.
That was Dupree Marshall, the nose tackle.
Trying to get the ball to Carter anyway. That's one thing that you like to see and that they're going to have to do.
All 20 yards Michigan has picked up on this drive have been on penalties. Hebert has the time. Fires the ball. There's Cobb. There's the first down. Down to about the 37-yard line with David Jefferson hanging on, number 55. Check of the clock, 3:45 to go. Panthers are down by 13. They need something in a hurry.
As Cobb comes across, taking it very shallow, coming underneath the linebackers. He's not in the picture, but Hebert looking upfield, then spots Cobb and picks up enough for the first.
Holloway to the right, Carter to the left. First down. Hebert puts it for Holloway. He is there. Touchdown! 3rd of the night. And Michigan is back in with 3:12 to go. 33 yards.
An excellent throw by Hebert, as well as getting good protection. They had a stun on in the middle, a twist coming around, but with that overhand delivery, reminds you of Johnny Unitas. That's the way he used to throw that football, pretty much over the head with the follow-through. He lays it just over the top, perfect. They're not out of it yet.
They certainly are not out of it. They would be within 6 points if Boyovich makes this extra point. And the pressure goes squarely now to the Michigan defense. Boyovich makes it. 3:12 to go. Oakland up by the score of 33-27. And as we said, 3:12 to go. And again, watch Holloway with his 3rd touchdown catch.
Good job by Holloway, too, as he moves into that area. He screens him, moving his body to the inside. A very subtle move that you wouldn't normally recognize. Derek Martin on that side could not get over the top of him with it. And with the ball dropping just out of reach of Martin, it's 6 points.
And keep in mind the drama. As Bobby Hebert was benched midway, not even midway in the first quarter, when he was 1 for 6. He has come back to throw 3 touchdown passes, all to Derek Holloway, and is now 14 for 23, 279 yards.
Well, it's going to be up to the defense, certainly. They've had difficulty the last couple series trying to get them 3 and out.
Remember the USFL Arizona and Birmingham next Saturday night, and we can tell you now that Arizona, Flowers has just taken a 45-yard pass from Risher tonight, and with 10 seconds left in the first half, Arizona is on top of undefeated LA 18-7.
Well, that Alan Risher's a cool cat back there. He brought him back last week against Chicago, pretty much in a similar fashion of Hebert here tonight. They never gave up. They were trailing all the way to Chicago and then scored 17 late. Here, Hebert, who on several instances, with his club trailing like they were as much as 13 points, they could have rolled over. They have not. They have made big plays right along the way. The last time helped by a couple of key penalties, but from their standpoint, who cares? They're on the boards.
That Michigan defense is standing on the sidelines waiting for this. The ball is going into the end zone, but well, it does go out of the end zone. The men were standing up, meaning Poncho James and Jerry Aldridge, at about the 10 to 12-yard line, perhaps anticipating a squib. There was not, so they get the ball at the 20-yard line. And again, there's your number of plays, only 4 with a big long pass to Holloway of 38 yards. And it is 3:06 to go, and Bassana's got to do what's coming naturally for him. Holloway has caught the ball 4 times, 3 for touchdowns, 108 yards.
We might see some defensive timeouts here. One of the disadvantages of Hebert, being young like he is, they haven't really had the opportunity to work on that 2-minute drill.
Well, they got to stop him here. Here's Whittington trying to get outside, and they didn't exactly stop him there as he picks up about 4 yards from the 20 to the 24. John Corker in on the tackle along with Roddy Padgett.
Pretty good blocking out in front of that play. They had a good contained position by Ray Bentley, turned Whittington inside, but the pursuit was slow getting there. They were tied up with the offensive line. They've got to get penetration. It isn't likely that Oakland's going to throw the football. It's not to say that they won't, but with second and a long 5, you got to figure they're going to try and run that clock down.
How would you like to be an Oakland defensive back if they have to give the ball up with Carter and Holloway? Whittington carries the ball shy of the first down, but he's 3rd and 2 situation. Corker again in on the tackle, number 57. And now time has been called.
Corker from the right side with that great pursuit. And that's one thing he said yesterday, watching him at practice, that he sometimes leaves too early. He is so anxious to get into the action that he'll pursue down that line of scrimmage and has gotten hurt periodically by the reverses. Once tonight they had a nice reverse.
You know, Don, one thing about, as they call them, the W's and the L's, get in the win column, another loss. Nobody likes to lose. And who's to say that Michigan will lose this ball game, because they're only down by 6 with a couple of minutes to go. But at least the Michigan coaching staff and the Michigan team and their fans now know that Michigan can move the football. For almost 3 quarters tonight, there was some doubt they would ever get a first down or move the football. Now that is a defensive coaching staff over there with Andy Canavino talking things over, whereas on the other side, John Ralston and staff talked to his offense.
Well, coming into this game, Oakland had made 75%, I believe it was. No, it was on first down that they'd picked up that yardage. But it was over 50% of third down situations. They've been pretty successful here this evening. And this, really, at this point of the football game, about 1.5 yards, is probably the biggest play of the game. If they do stop him here, they know that Michigan does, that the 2-minute timeout will stop the clock again, and that's why they took the timeout. But the key play is to get that football back. So the test is on the short yardage defense.
Canavino has brought in that short yardage defense, and they line up in it. 3rd down, 1.5 yards. Whittington's got the first down, and had he kept his feet, might have had a lot more. Started to the right, cut back against the grain. Arnaud put him down along with David Tipton.
Well, as we've seen in the past this evening, as they go to the 2-minute warning, the offensive line gets a good surge and opens it up.
33-27, 2 minutes to go.
This year, long-term American Indians.
We all know that Michigan has to get the football, or conversely, Oakland's got to hang on to the football. 2 minutes to go. And what at one time, remember, was a 30-13 game. It is now 33-27, and the issue could still be in doubt.
Well, the Michigan defense is probably going to have to use both of their 2 remaining timeouts in order
Which isn't
to
so
stop the
bad,
clock.
Don, if Michigan gets the ball back, because every time they make a first down, if they do, they stop the clock in the USFL. So it's not as primary importance as it would be in the NFL, where they don't stop the clock when they move the sticks.
This is true, and the offensive unit is over huddling with Coach Robert Leahy, who handles the quarterback and says, look, we're going to have to go into a quick offense provided we stop him.
Well, they got to stop him now, and it's first down. They will give it to Whittington again, and Whittington's going to turn the corner and get another first down. You don't stop him that way. Whittington gets outside. John Corker puts him down across the way, number 57. Time is called again.
Good speed on Whittington's part. It was designed to go over the right guard. The defense, on the other hand, in trying to pursue, they go to play to the inside. They do not get the force outside by the strong safety, David Greenwood, and they do not get the pursuit. Whittington turns the corner and makes a big play as far as they're concerned.
And they stop the clock to move the sticks. The sticks were moved. The clock is going. 1:40 to go. Whittington again. He's getting all of the... And I saw a flag go down. Saw a flag go into the middle of that huddle. Ray Bentley is there. You can see number 50 on the side. You can see Paget there also. But I also saw a flag, and it's going to be holding against Oakland.
John Ralston going out saying, wait a minute, what's going on here? We don't figure we're holding at this stage.
You've known John Ralston for a long while, and so have I. He has been less animated today than what I'm used to seeing him dashing up and down the sidelines and screaming. And it has not been that easy a ball game to win. At one time it appeared easy, but he's in it now.
Well, he recognizes that they don't have it put away. Whittington, the last time, running the same play essentially that he ran the one before, where he took it on the outside. That time he took it inside, and if it is going to be a holding call against Oakland, it will back them up. And still at this point, Michigan has 2 timeouts with 1:29 left. It'll be stopped on the penalty, but I would have to think that they're going to use at least one of those timeouts, if not both of them at this stage.
John Corker, linebacker. Michigan was downfield. We're here to call.
Holding. Offense, number 56. Still first down.
That's Labasa.
Timeout, Michigan.
The center. And Corker was downfield talking to Gary Anderson. And I'm saying that Corker went to Oklahoma State and Anderson went to Stanford. I guess they know each other from somewhere. 1:29 left in this 33-27 game. Basana's had a great night, no matter what happens with the rest of the game, and he's our MVP.
He certainly has, and he sells insurance in the off-season and owns part of a beer distributorship. It's a different world down there.
First down, and 20 to go. And Whittington is getting all the calls tonight, and this time doesn't get too much. 1:23 to go. Greenwood came up to make the stop along with Ray Bentley, but they're going to call timeout again. And that's the last of the Michigan Panthers timeouts. And it comes with a second down and 18 to go with 1:21 to go. So if Oakland simply just hangs on to the football and uses all their time in the huddles, they can run this thing off.
Well, they could run off almost 60 seconds or a minute, which would cut it down to about 21 seconds, depending on what type of play they run. And you know, you got to kind of go back to the 2 turnovers. As far as the quarterbacks are concerned, they have not thrown any interceptions, but the fumble by Carter back deep set up the 1 touchdown for Oakland. The fumble by Whit Taylor set up the 2nd touchdown. So they have given away 14 points on errors at this stage.
That's right, all happening in the 3rd quarter. Paul McGuire and I will be down in Legion Field, Birmingham, Alabama, Monday night at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 Pacific time, as the Stars of Philadelphia, led by Kelvin Bryant, come down to the Stallions of Alabama, led by Reggie Collier and Bob Lane, who had a great week last week, the backup quarterback who scored the winning touchdown. Now you know that this is just hold on to the football time and let time run off that clock, because they cannot stop us. Second down and 18 to go. Here's Whittington. Here's Whittington. Whittington picks up a first down. That'll stop the clock as he goes out of bounds, and they move, but it gives them 4-down territory now, and just about wraps it up with that 20-yard carry by Arthur Whittington. He and Raymond Chester were much in our plans when you go to vote for the MVP, but Fred Basana, of course, the controls as quarterback, got it with a great night.
Well, David Greenwood came across and forced it perfect, but they got the good block out of Raymond Chester, sealing off the inside. There was no pursuit, specifically by the linebackers, and no force, and that killed them. .495 yards total rushing thus far for Oakland. And now they're going to lie down, and they blow the whistle, but the clock will continue to run. 338 yards on the arm of Basana, and 157 yards on the ground. There's the other game. It is at the half. Arizona leading undefeated Los Angeles 18-7. And Whittington, remember when we said he's averaging less than 3 yards a carry, and then just about 3 yards a carry? Now he's averaging over 4 yards a carry and has carried the ball 25 times for 108 yards to go with his catches, and has run for a touchdown. So Whittington has had a great night too, but it looks like it's going to be Oakland 2-1 and Michigan 1-2. But Bobby Hebert may have grown up a lot tonight as a Michigan quarterback after being yanked from his start, only to come back and fire 3 touchdown passes. Well, that had to do an awful lot for his confidence. I'm certain that he doesn't like to lose a football game. They came really close to getting back into it and conceivably winning it, but the rushing attack of Oakland has hurt them. They've had a good rushing attack the first couple games. Tonight they controlled it when they needed to.
Well, as time runs out, Oakland, this is the first of a 4-game road trip. They don't go back home until April the 16th. But if you're going to start with a road trip, the best way is to start with a win, and they have won this ball game 33-27 on the arm of Fred Basana, who found Wyatt Henderson twice, Raymond Chester once. Arthur Whittington ran for a touchdown and ran for more than 100 yards. It was something to see, and the Oakland Invaders came out on top 33-27. John Ralston being interviewed for local radio out in Oakland, and he'll sit there and talk, because when you're a winner, oh, how sweet it is to talk.